So by next week, 1 May or 2 May, we will combine and we will ready for summit.
Are you sure?
Yeah, doctor.
You don't have any problem, huh?
So far no, doctor. We clear about it.
Okay. Okay, group 2. Group 2.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, Jafiq. Yesterday you came and see me, right?
Yes.
So, anything that you want to brief today? Anything that you want to brief today? Anything that you want to...
Masih ada lagi 2-3 orang yang belum send. Tapi yang dah send tu pun saya tak compile ni sebab saya baca dulu mereka punya point. Macam nak confirm betul-betul yang point mereka tu memang memenuhi requirement dalam ISO.
Okay. Alright. Do you have any problems so far?
So far no, doctor.
Okay, group 3.
Yes, good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
So far mau group sama juga masih ada 2-3 orang belum hantar. Lain, okay sudah.
Do you have anything to share? Don't have.
Paket ni tes saya masih dalam masih dalam pembuatan masih.
Any problem in your group?
No, sir.
Okay, group 4. Group 4. Group 4. Where's group 4? Lau Kasin. Group 4?
Yes, doctor.
So, how's your progress? Lau Kao Sing, Yap Long Sing, Chong Wei Yi, Ng Kok Sing, Chiu Lin Hui, Wang Hui Sin, Wang Ren Kai.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Ya.
Dengar tak?
Dengar.
Kita we are still in progress in combine.
Do you have any problem in your group?
So no.
Okay. Alright. Okay. If not, then you continue. Make sure that you can meet the deadline and meet the expectation, and meet the requirement. It's not for the sake of assignment. You have to understand the assignment. You have to make sure that you do it properly. Okay. So today we will continue with chapter 7. Okay, as I said, you need what you need in chapter 7 is first is your slide that I given to you, the slide in your portal, and the second is your standard ISO 9000, ISO 19011, year 2011, which I share with you in your portal. Please print out and make sure that you have the standard with you when we discuss chapter 7. Okay? Okay, nak?
Okay, doctor.
Okay. So I want to share first. Let me share. Can you see the slide?
Yes, can.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. So today we will discuss chapter 7, which is quality audit. where we need to refer to MS ISO 19011 19011 year 2011. The one that I gave to you
我
is
做其他东西都不得空了咯，还要 print。
why? What are you saying, Wong Huisin? Okay.
No, sorry.
Okay. Right. So make sure that you got the standard with you. Okay. Okay, in chapter 7, basically, we will discuss 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4. Oh, there is a typo error. Yeah, supposed to be 7.4, 7.5. So we will discuss on principle of auditing. Yeah, and then we will discuss managing an audit program, and then audit activities, and then competence and evaluation of auditors. Right? Yeah. So this chapter is very important because you need to understand this chapter in order for you to execute complete assignment number 2. Yeah. Before you submit, after you submit your assignment number 1, I will share with you assignment number 2. Yeah. So assignment number 2 basically is on audit, where you need to audit the documentation that has prepared by your other group. Yeah. Right. So this is the outline of this chapter. So at the end of the day of this chapter, basically, there are a few things that you need to acquire. Number 1 is you need to understand the requirement of the internal audit. Yeah, you need to understand the requirement of internal audit based on ISO 9001 year 2015 requirement. Yeah, that's why you need to understand the requirement first. We have discussed the requirement from chapter, I think from chapter 3, yeah? Chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6, 4 chapters. 4 chapters we have discussed the requirement. So by now, you should understand the requirement of ISO 9001. So once you understand the requirement, then only you can audit the system based on the requirement. And then we will discuss on the process-based approach internal audit. Okay, and then at the end of the day, you need to conduct internal audit exercise. Internal audit exercise basically will cover in your assignment, which is assignment number 2, which you need to do it individually. Yeah. Okay. Any question on the chapter objective and the chapter outline? What you need to learn in this chapter and what are expected from the chapter. At the end of the chapter, you need to acquire a certain skill or a certain knowledge that you need to acquire. Yeah. For this one, you need to acquire the knowledge on ISO 9001 requirement and the skill on auditing. Yeah. Hopefully you can audit. Yeah. By the end of the day, later on, when you go outside to the real world, maybe you can help your company, yeah, to conduct internal audit in the organization. This is the expectation. Okay. Any question? Okay, no question. No question, then we continue. Do you print the standard and you bring the standard with you? How many of you print out the standard and have the standard with you? Not yet print. Lau Kasin, not yet print. Who else? Printed. Wong Hui-sin. Okay, printed. Good. If you print, then make sure that you have the hard copy with you. Yeah. You have the hard copy beside you. Okay. If you have a printed copy with you, you can see the standard on page number 1. Page number 1 of the standard. Yeah. Page number 1 of the standard, it discusses and definition of audit. Right? It discusses term and definition of audit, and 3.1 you can see definition of audit. So, it means what? Audit means is to layman term, audit is to check, to evaluate a certain thing, to observe a certain thing, yeah, to meet a certain criteria, yeah, that is to audit, yeah. So people come to audit you means people come to check you whether you meet or not meeting the criteria that whatever they set for you. Okay. So that is a very general definition of audit. But according to IOD's definition, audit is a systematic, independent, and documented process. They should have 3 elements. They should have 3 elements in audit. One, audit should be systematic audit. The second one, audit should be independent. When you audit, you cannot depend on the person that you audit. Yeah, you should be independent and documented process. Yeah, so meaning to say that the audit, audit evidence, audit objective, audit notes, audit whatever, you must document. Yeah, so a verbal form does not counted. Yeah, the documented evidence or the documented facts is counted in the auditing process. Okay, audit is a systematic, independent, and documented process for obtaining audit evidence. So yes, the process is to obtain audit evidence, and we want to evaluate it. We want to evaluate the evidence, yeah, objectively, to determine the extent to which audit criteria are fulfilled. So here you need to understand a few terms. Number 1, you need to understand what is audit evidence. Number 2, you need to understand what is audit criteria. Okay, so audit is to obtain audit evidence and to evaluate it to make sure that the evidence meet or not meeting the criteria. Okay, so the next question is audit criteria. What is audit criteria and what is audit evidence? So you have to understand the entire terms in order to understand the audit process. Okay, so when we talk about criteria, criteria can be a set of policy, a set of procedure, or a set of requirement that used as a reference in what evidence are compared. So meaning to say that if we want to audit, we need a certain criteria, certain guidelines, certain rules, certain requirement to refer to. Yeah. For example, if we want to do internal audit for ISO 9001, we need the requirement of ISO 9001 as your criteria. So the standard of ISO 9001 we consider as an audit criteria. Okay. So then once we know the criteria of audit, then we need to find the evidence to make sure that the evidence, fulfill the requirement of the criteria. Okay, so what is evidence? Evidence is a record, statement of facts, or other information which are relevant to audit criteria, and the evidence should be verifiable. Must be verifiable. Yeah, you need to the evidence is verifiable. Yeah. So whether the record, the statement, the fact, or other information that you get, which is relevant to the criteria, and the audit evidence is verified, can be verified. Maknanya you need to verify the evidence. Yeah. That's why we need, like, if a record, we need a written record, a written statement. If information, then the information can be verified. Yeah. That one we consider, we define as audit evidence. So audit evidence can be qualitative or quantitative. Yeah. It can be in number form, or it can be in words. But even though it's word, it should be verified. It's verifiable. So that is audit evidence. So in order to understand the definition of audit, you have to understand what is evidence, what is criteria. So audit is to find the criteria, to find the evidence, which should meet the criteria that we set. So in general, when we talk about internal audit for ISO, the criteria that we will use to audit is, number one, is your standard, ISO 9001 standard. Yeah. Number two, we can use your quality manual. Yeah. Quality manual can be used as a criteria. Yeah. That's why I said quality manual, the assignment number one is important, because we want to use that as your criteria later when we want to audit. Okay. We can use quality manual. We can use your procedure, quality system procedure, QSP, as a criteria to audit, and we can use your work instruction as a criteria to audit. So this for document, is a very crucial when you want to conduct internal audit for ISO 9001. Okay, so that's why I told you, your quality manual, your work instruction, your procedure is very important, because we want to use your quality manual, we want to use your procedure, you want to use your work instruction as the criteria for audit. Yeah, on top of the ISO 9001 requirement. Okay, so those are the definition of audit. Yeah, audit. If people ask you what is audit, basically audit is to check, to find the evidence. Yeah. And then we want to see whether the evidence meet the criteria that we have set or not. Okay, so that is audit. Faham apa itu audit? So secara mudahnya audit is to check. To check, to observe, to evaluate, to find evidence. Okay. Then, if you go further in your standard, at page number, I think at page number 2, at page number 2, you can see a few definitions. Among those are audit finding, audit conclusion, what is auditee, what is auditor, that's all explained in page number 2 in your standard. Okay, so you have to understand all those definitions regarding audit. So audit finding, what is audit finding? Audit finding is a result of evaluation of collected audit evidence against audit criteria. So if we compare audit evidence dengan audit criteria, then we will make a conclusion or we make a decision whether the audit evidence meet the criteria or not. So that is the finding, whether fulfilled or not fulfilled. That is the finding. That is audit finding. So audit finding indicate conformity or non-conformity, whether audit evidence that we have collected meet the criteria or not meeting the criteria. If it meet the criteria, we consider it conform. If it does not meet the criteria, we consider as non-conformity. Conform means when audit evidence meet audit criteria. Okay. Not conform means audit evidence does not meet the audit criteria. Okay. So audit finding will indicate whether it is conform or not conform. So audit finding also can lead to the identification of opportunity for improvement. Sometimes the criteria is not stated. The criteria is not stated, but we find something in your system. So that can lead to the opportunity for improvement. So we can improve when we find a certain evidence that which does not include in your system, then we can suggest for opportunity for improvement. So audit finding also can lead to the recording of good practice. So audit finding also, we will when we audit, sometimes we find a good practice in your system, then we will notify that. We will acknowledge the good practice in the system. So if audit criteria are selected from legal or other requirement, the audit finding is termed compliant or non-compliant. Okay. Your first is conformity and non-conformity. Okay. The first sentence here, audit finding indicate conformity or non-conformity. Here is termed compliant and non-compliant. Compliant means if it complies to a legal requirement, legal or regulatory requirement. So we consider it's compliant. Okay. If it meet, if our criteria are selected from the legal, then the audit finding result we will call compliant or non-compliant. Okay. So this is the term that we will use First, we use conform and non-conformity. The second is comply or not comply. Okay. Then audit conclusion. Audit conclusion is the outcome of the audit after consideration of the audit objective and all audit findings. Yeah. So after we audit, and then we find all the objective, all the finding, we will make a conclusion whether the system is okay or the system need further improvement. Yeah. Or we found in conclusion your system breakdown. Okay. So audit conclusion is the outcome. Yeah. When we conduct audit. Yeah. After consideration of the audit objective and all audit finding. Yeah. Then we will collect all the finding. Then we will make conclusion whether the system is okay, the system is not okay, or the system is total breakdown. Okay. Then auditee is organization being audited. Yeah. And auditor is person conduct audit. So later on, when you conduct assignment number 2, some of you will become auditee and some of you will become auditor, and then you will interchange. Yeah? Some at one time you will become you will become auditee, and at the other time you will become an auditor. Okay, so I will schedule it for you later. Don't worry. But auditee is organization being audited, or person being audited. Auditor is person who conduct audit. Jadi auditor ialah orang yang mengaudit, auditee ialah orang yang diaudit. Okay, so those are the definition of audit. So you can find the other definition like auditing, technical expert, observer, guide, audit scope, all those definition you can read, and you need to read and you need to understand, all in your standard. Yeah, page 3 until page 4, first paragraph. Okay, so those who have a standard, yeah, you can refer to the page 3 of your standard. Yeah, which I not discuss in class. I just discussed a few terms that are commonly used during the audit. Yeah, one is audit, audit criteria, audit evidence, audit finding, audit conclusion, auditor, auditee. Yeah, so those are the term and definition that you have to understand. The rest of the term and definition you need to refer to page 3 of your standard. Yeah? Then you need to study on your own. Okay, any question on the definition of audit? Term that are relevant to audit process. You need further clarification on a certain term. Any question? So far, no. Okay, good. Okay, if no question, then we can proceed. Okay. Internal audit. Internal audit, sometimes we call a first party audit. Yeah. Basically, audit can be divided into 3 types of audit. Basically, we call it first party audit, second party audit, and third party audit. Okay, you can see here in the next slide. Okay, what is first party audit? first party audit basically is internal audit, yeah, which carried out by a trained internal auditors against the organization own management system. Meaning that internal audit or first party audit is audited by our own people. Our own people being if group 1 is what is your company? Group 1, group 2. Group 2, your company is, what is your company? What is your company name, group 2? What is your company name, group 2? I know your product. What is your company name, group 2? Shafiq, what is your company name? Shafiq, where are you?
Yes, Doctor.
What is your company name?
Tectona Enterprise.
Huh?
Tectona Enterprise.
Tectona.
Yes.
Tectona. Okay. So, let's say Tectona Enterprise want to conduct audit, want to conduct internal audit. Yeah. So, meaning to say that Tectona Enterprise must have internal auditor from their own company. So, you must select a few people in your company. You must train the people in your company to be competent to conduct internal audit. Then the people in your company, yeah, conduct the audit for your own company. Okay, so that is internal audit. However, even though you conduct audit for your own company, the auditor cannot audit their own work. You have to understand. An auditor cannot audit their own work. Meaning to say that if the auditor come from marketing department, if the auditor come from marketing department, you cannot assign auditor from marketing department to audit marketing department. You can only assign auditor from marketing department to audit other department rather than marketing department. Okay, so you can audit your own organization, but you cannot audit your own work. Okay, so first party audit basically is carried out by trained internal auditor against organization own. So is conducted by our own people in our own organization, but the auditor cannot audit their own work. So when you plan the audit later, you must make sure that if auditor A come from certain department, B department for example, so you cannot assign auditor A to audit B department. Okay, so that is internal first party audit. Then what is second party audit? Second party audit basically is carried out by a customer or we audit our supplier. Supplier audit ataupun we audit supplier or customer audit us. That we consider as a second party audit. Okay, so if you for example you outsource a certain process to outside company. For example, you outsource a painting process to other company, ABC company. You want to go to you need to audit ABC company. Then we consider this type of audit we consider as a second party audit, or we call supplier audit. So second party audit are carried out by customer on the organization, or the organization audit their supplier. So that is a second party audit. So the audit is based on the requirement of the contract or potential contract. So normally second party audit, we enter contract when we select our supplier. Of course, we have a certain contract. Then when we audit, we need to follow the contract that we have agreed with our supplier. Or if customer audit us, they must follow the contract that we have already agreed with our customer. Okay, so that is second party audit. And third party audit is audit by third party are carried out by an independent organization against the requirement of a recognized standard. This one like if SIRIM audit or any certification body come to audit, yeah, they don't have any interest in our organization. They don't have any interest, yeah. They don't have any relation with our organization. They come and audit as a third party, yeah, as a third and independent party, yeah. On a certain standard requirement. For example, if we want to pursue for certification for ISO, we need third party audit. Yeah, we need third party audit. One of the certification body that can give certification audit for companies is SIRIM, SIRIM QAS Sedia Berhad. Yeah, in Malaysia. So if we have learned in chapter 1, right? We have learned in chapter 1, we have Department of Standard, Department of Standard Malaysia. So under Department of Standard Malaysia, there are few certification body, yeah, that is being appointed, yeah, to conduct third party audit for the organization, yeah. Okay, so there are few, yeah. One of the example is SIRIM, yeah. Apa lagi? Lloyd, SUV, and apa ni? There are a few certification body, yeah. Let's see. Okay, you can how many? Okay, let's say accreditation body, a quality management system. We filter by quality management system. Now you can see in Malaysia, there are 28 companies or 28 certification body that are registered under the Department of Standard Malaysia. Okay, so you can see here, these are the company that can issue certification for your ISO 9000. Yeah, and we have TUV, AJA, EQS, BVQ, BVCQ, BVC, Beru Veritas, KGS. Yeah, one of them is SIRIM QAS. Yeah, so this is all the quality management system. Yeah, so we have, as of today, we have 28 company. Yeah, that are registered under Department of Standard. Yeah. synergy certification. Okay. Alright. So those are third party body, third party audit. Okay. Alright. Any question? Now you can differentiate between first party, second party, and third party. What is first party? What is second party? What is third party? Okay or not? Okay. Alright. Okay, then we continue. Okay. So now the next question is why we need to audit? Why we need to audit our system? Yeah. Audit is to check. Why we need to check? Why we need to check our system? Why people need to audit you? And why you need to audit people? What is the purpose of audit? Hello, what is the purpose of audit? Yeah, improve, yeah, betul, good. Audit is to find the opportunity for improvement. Yeah, audit is to find where we are. Then we need to find what ways to improve. Yeah, we need to improve our system. We need to improve our process. We need to improve our product. Audit is about improvement. It's not finding fault. Audit is not find fault finding. Basically, is we find what to improve. Yeah. Okay. By definition, you can see here. By definition, the purpose of audit is to determine whether the system, whether the QMS system conform to the plan arrangement to the requirement of ISO 9001 and year 2001, year 2015, and to qualify quality management system requirement established by the organization is effectively implemented and maintained. So specifically for the ISO 9000 audit, for ISO 9000 audit, the purpose is, number one is to determine whether our system meet the requirement of ISO 9015 or not. That is number one. We want to make sure that the system that is in place are meeting the requirement of ISO 9001-2015. That's number one, the purpose of audit. Number two, we want to see whether the system is implemented effectively or not. That's number two. Yeah. Number one, we want to see whether our system conform to the requirement or not, to the requirement of ISO. Number two, we want to see whether the implementation of the system is effective or not. Yeah. And number three, we want to see whether the system is maintained or not. So that is the purpose of audit. Yeah. The purpose is we want to see whether the system meet the requirement of ISO 9000, and then we want to make sure that the system is effectively implemented and the system is effectively maintained. So that is the purpose of audit. Otherwise, we don't need to audit. Yeah. Of course, to maintain we need to improve. Yeah. So the purpose is we need to improve the system. Yeah. Okay. So that is the purpose, and be treated or can be viewed as a tool, as a tool for improvement. It's a tool for management to decide, to control, a tool to improve the performance of the system. So we can use audit. So improve a certain thing, we need to go and check. We need to go and audit. We need to go and verify. Yeah, we need to go and see. Right? Otherwise, we cannot improve. So audit also is viewed as an effective and reliable tool in support of management policy and control, providing information on which organization can act on to improve its performance. Okay. So audit can be used as a tool for improvement. Okay. So those are the purpose of audit. Yeah. We audit because we want to make sure that our system meet the ISO 9001 requirement. We audit because we want to make sure that the system is effectively implemented. We audit because we want to make sure that the system is effectively maintained. As well as we can use the audit result, the audit finding, to improve the performance of our system. The performance of our system maksudnya sama ada sistem, proses, produk, whatever that include in the system. Okay. So that is the purpose of audit. Okay. Right. Okay, Nurul Husna ada sini tak? Nurul Husna? Nurul Husna? Nurul Husna binti Samsuri. Are you here? Nurul Husna? Safiah binti Mak Ali ada tak? Safiah binti Mak Ali. Okay. Okay. Okay, Syafiq. Syafiq. Oh, Syafiq. Okay. Cuba terangkan saya apa itu first party audit, second party audit and third party audit.
First party audit tu macam apa? Kita train internal auditor dalam organisasi sendiri.
Kita train, mana kita train? Kita train ke tak?
Bukan kita train internal auditor.
First party audit is bukan kita train, kita audit.
Kita audit kerja kita dalam organisasi sendiri.
Kita audit kita punya own system. But we must make sure that the auditor is independent of the auditing punya ni lah, is independent, Okay. Syafiq. Second party audit?
Second party audit tu supplier audit.
Contoh
Contoh dia kita apa? Dia carry out by customer. Kita audit customer.
Mana kita audit customer? Customer audit kita.
Customer audit kita.
Ataupun kita audit supplier kita, itu second party, which is kita ada interest. Kita ada interest dalam supplier kita, customer kita ada interest dalam kita. Okay? Itu second party. Third party?
Certification audit.
By independent body. So kita ada berapa independent, kita ada berapa certification body di Malaysia yang registered under DSM? How many certification body that are registered under DSM in Malaysia now? Selain daripada Syafiq, kalau you tak tidur, you boleh jawab soalan ni. Saya baru buka je. 28 I just browse through DSM punya website just now. We have 28 certification body, yeah, for quality management system. Okay, in under DSM there are few more system. We have information management system, yeah. We have quality system and so on. But for quality system, we have 28 certification body. Alright. Next. Tamil Selvan, ada tak Tamil Selvan? Tamil Selvan. Ada tak Tamil Selvan here? Tak ada. Okay. Okay. Nurul Hidayah ada tak? Nurul Hidayah? Nurul Hidayah, are you here? Also don't have. Ada bagi habis ni. Okay, Nur Maisara. Nur Maisara, are you here? Mana pergi habis? Nur Maisara, are you here? Macam mana ni? Okay, Nur Maisara, what is the purpose of audit? Why we audit? Kenapa kita perlu ada audit dalam sistem kita? What is the purpose of audit? No answer. Siapa ada answer? Okay. Proses. Siapa tu? Nitian.
Yes, Dr. Me.
So what is the purpose of audit? Why we need to audit our system?
Audit for purpose is for inspection and examination of process of quality system to ensure compliance to requirement.
Okay.
dia boleh katakan dia macam entire organization kena be specified to function of process, production step. Some of the audits dia akan ada special administration purpose macam documented documents, risk, performance.
Okay.
So dia ada completed corrective actions.
Okay. Ni jawapan dia ni. Purpose of audit. Kita nak tengok sama ada sistem kita meet or not meeting the requirement of ISO 9000. That's number one. Number two, we want to see whether our system is implemented effectively or not. Number three, we want to make sure that our system is effectively maintained or not. Okay, that is the main purpose. Then the other purpose is we can use audit as a tool for improvement, as a tool. We can use audit as a tool to improve our performance, whether our system, process, or product. So that is the main purpose of audit, basically. When we talk about internal audit for ISO, because we have so many kind of audit. When you work in actual working place later on, you will face so many type or so many audit. Sometimes customer come to audit you. Sometimes your stakeholder come to audit you. Sometimes your accountant come to audit you, right? So there are different audit. Audit for ISO basically for these three purpose, which is to make sure that the system conform to the standard of ISO 9001, to make sure that the system is implemented effectively, and to make sure that the system is maintained effectively. Then we want to use audit as a tool for improvement. Okay, so we know the definition. We know the definition of we know the type of audit. We have learned the definition of audit. What is audit? We've learned the definition of the type of audit. We have three type of audit, and we have learned purpose of audit. Okay, so far. Now we go to the next one, is the principle of auditing. Okay, so in principle of auditing, in your standard, it start at clause number 4 for ISO 9001 year 2015. ISO 19011. Okay, ISO 19011 year 2011. Okay, so it start at clause number 4. Clause number 4 is principle for auditing. Okay, so if you can see in the slide, so there are a few principles that we need to adhere during audit ISO, during internal audit. Okay, so what are the principles? What are those principles? I think that there are 1, 2, 3, 6 principles. Yeah, 6 principles. 6 principles of auditing. Okay. So number 1 is what? Number 1 is what? Integrity. Good. Number 1 is integrity. What? Apa makna integrity in auditing? what is the meaning of integrity lah? What is the meaning of integrity in auditing? Yeah, integrity. Yeah, when we talk about integrity, what auditor need to do in order to portray integrity in auditing? What auditor should behave? Yeah, in order to portray integrity in auditing. Honest, okay, good. What else? Honest. Responsibility. Ethical. Alright. So you can find here. Yeah. Integrity. Number one, auditor must possess or must portray integrity during the audit. Yeah. So integrity basically is the foundation of professionalism. If you want to be internal auditor, yeah, if you want to basically you can pursue your career in auditing, yeah, if you are really interested, yeah, basically you can be independent independent auditors. Then you can join certification body to work with. Yeah, you can join CIRIM, you can join all the certification body that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, in Malaysia we have 28. That one is for quality management itself. So we have other certification body for other system. So if you're really interested, yeah, you can focus on this one. Then you can pursue your career in auditing. Then you can join those company that I've mentioned. Yeah, later. If you are really thinking of your career after you graduate later, right? If you really want to challenge yourself, you can open up your own company. Then you will serve to other organization as an internal auditor. Yeah, as an independent auditor, third party auditor. Yeah, all right. So before you proceed or before you want to think of internal auditor as your career, number one, you must make sure that you must have you must possess integrity. Yeah, integrity in auditing is a foundation. For every auditor must show integrity in conducting the audit. Yeah, when we audit, we must show our professionalism. Even though we audit our friend, we must be professional. Even though we audit our family members, we must be professional when we audit. Yeah, okay. So to portray integrity, auditor and the person managing an audit program should perform their work honestly, as your friend said just now. You need to perform the work diligent and with responsibility. Ya, kita kena ada tanggungjawab, ya, kita kena ada honest, kita kena ada diligent, ya, to perform the work. And then we must observe and comply with any applicable legal requirement. All legal requirement we must comply with, yeah, in order to be, in order to attain integrity. All the legal requirement we must comply. And then we must demonstrate our competence while performing our work. Yeah. So auditor must demonstrate their competence while performing their work. Meaning to say that if you are not competent, then you cannot audit. You audit whenever you are competent to do so. Okay, that's why in order to become a competent auditor, you need to pass a certain training, a certain course, a certain exam, and so on. Yeah, to be a professional auditor, basically. Yeah, but it's a good opportunity. It's a good money also if you can do that. It's a professional career. If you want to pursue to be auditors. Yeah, and then we must perform. We must perform our work in an impartial manner, meaning to say that we need to remain fair and unbiased in all our dealings. Yeah, if we want to be a good auditor, we want to portray integrity, we must make sure that we perform our work unbiased. Yeah? Unbiased in all our dealings. Yeah, and then we must remain fair. Ya, kita kena adil. Ya, kita tak boleh ada berat sebelah. Ya, bila kita jadi auditor. Ya, and then kita juga kena be sensitive to any influence that may be exerted on our judgment while we carry out audit. So kita kena elakkan diri kita daripada dipengaruhi oleh anasir-anasir luar semasa kita membuat keputusan di dalam audit. Okay, so integrity is number one in auditor. So if you want to become auditor, if you want to become a good auditor, you must make sure that you possess the integrity behavior. Okay, all right. So that is number one principle. Number one principle is integrity. Number two is what? Fair presentation. What does it mean by fair presentation? What does it mean by fair presentation? Fair presentation should reflect truthfully. Okay. Okay. Fair presentation means we have the obligation to report truthfully and accurately. Ya, kita kena report benda yang betul dan benda yang tepat. Bila kita jadi auditor, when we become auditor, we need to report benda yang the true story and an accurate story and accurate figure. Okay, so truthfully and accurately. Okay, so that is the obligation. In order to be fair presentation, we have the obligation to report truthfully and accurately. So it means that audit finding, audit conclusion, audit report, all this you do later. Later you need to come up with your audit finding, audit conclusion, audit report should reflect truthfully and accurately the audit activities. Yeah. In your assignment number 2 later, you will audit, and then you will do audit conclusion. You will ensure audit is a true story and accurate on it that you have conducted. Okay. Okay, and then any obstacle encountered during the audit and unresolved diverging opinion between the audit team and auditee also should be reported. Yeah, of course, when we audit, sometimes there are argument, there are unresolved issues or different opinion between auditor and auditee. That one also should be reported. Yeah, when we are talking about fair presentation. Yeah, and then the communication should be truthful, accurate, objective, timely, clear, and complete. To be a good auditor, you must be a good communicator as well. Yeah. Later we will learn how to be a good listener, how to be a good communicator. Yeah. What to ask. All this during the class later. Yeah. When we discuss, when we go further on this chapter. Okay. So the communication should be truthful, should be accurate, should be objective, should be timely, clear, and complete. Then only we can consider you as a fair presentation auditors. Yeah? All those things you need to develop. Yeah? If you want to be a auditor, good auditor, you must develop yourself. Yeah, to be integrity, to be fair presentation, and a few more that we will discuss later. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions so far? I think it's almost 12:45 already. Yeah, I think we should stop here. Before we stop, I think I need to divide your study group. Okay, so I think class 4 you can read. I will explain. Starting from class 5, so we have class 5. Okay. So we have four group, right? 4 group. Okay, group 1. Group 1 you study class 5. Group 1 you study class 5. 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4. Group 1. Okay, group 2, 5-5, 5-6, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. Group 2. Group 3, 6-5, 6-6, 6-7, 7-1. And then group 4, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4, 7-5, 7-6. Okay, you got that? You got that or not?
Betul, boleh repeat betul.
Okay, repeat. Okay, group 1. Group 1, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4. Group 1. Group 2, 5-5, 5-6, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. Group 3, 6-5, 6-6, 6-7 dengan 7-1. And then group 4, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4, 7-5, 7-6. Okay. Got or not? Okay.
Got it.
Alright. So if you got the class, go back and study. Go back and study the class, and then we discuss in class. Okay, this coming today is Wednesday. Sunday we will discuss. Then we complete 7. We complete in this. We will complete this, and then we will continue with discussion on class 5. Okay? Alright. Any question? Okay, if no question, I think that's assignment. You must submit assignment number 1 first, and then I will share assignment number 2. Okay? So I think that's all for today. Thank you very much, and see you next week. Have a nice weekend. Ya, yang Muslim selamat berpuasa. Ya, nak raya lambat lagi ya. Raya ni you all boleh balik tak? Mana yang duduk dekat kampus? For those yang ada dalam kampus, you boleh balik tak? This coming raya. Syafiq, you boleh balik tak?